for equality, so you get upset when you deal with 50-50 mindset men.
No, I mean, I'd rather be an independent rich woman and be single than to be stuck with a man who doesn't give a shit about me.
And I would rather pay more than half of the bills.
Absolutely, exactly.
Okay, first off, you said you'd rather be in it, and if that's what you choose to be, great, you can do that. That's a choice.
And
you can do that.
Exactly.
But the thing is, but the funny thing is, you would think that, and especially in my community, strong, independent, such and so forth, the amount of women who are high earners, independent, and miserable is amazing. Halle Berry, once the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet, 3 times in a row, is complaining about child support. She's rich, she's beautiful, she's miserable. How about this? There used to be a time where men and women actually did not war with one another. We didn't have these contentious things. We accepted that men were men, women were women. We acknowledged each other's differences. We respected those things and let the world work. In the last 70 years, we've decided, let's rejigger everything, and it's not working.
And you could rape your wife, and she didn't have any rights, and you could beat her.
Now, what's going on, guys, is this is the sign language that goes on again. This is when they go to the horror stories. In the Black community, we call this the color purpling of Black America. Miss Seeley, these things could happen, sure, but they did not happen in mass. You did not go to suburbia and see women's eyes hanging out of their socket.
I highly disagree with you. Okay. I mean, raping your wife was such a huge deal. It didn't even get.
I said eyes hanging out of your socket. You talking about? I'm not going to use that word because I'm on somebody's platform. Right. Can we not use that word though?
Because
can we not use that? Can we not use that word? It's YouTube sensitive.
I'm sorry. What word?
The R word.
Or spelled backwards.
It dings the platform.
Okay.
I'm not rejecting the concept. Yes, ma'am, it happened. Right. But, ma'am, but what you're trying to
think that world was better for me.
Okay, well then if the world is better for you, then accept the things that come along with a better world.
I just think that everything you guys are presenting are opinions and they're not facts.
Well, actually, there are more facts than you want to deal with, because all I deal with based on facts.
There are things that you guys want to say are facts.
Okay, ma'am.
Statistics that show me this.
Here we go.
Okay, ma'am. My show, all I deal with facts and statistics.
Women that are happy in their environment, knowing they're being cheated on, knowing these things are happening to them, and you find them for me.
How many women we have?
Excuse me, hold on. Let me ask the question again. Ask the question again.
You go find these women that are being happy, being cheated on. They're happy.
No
and
excuse me. Hold on. Hold on. Excuse me. I can go. I'll let you know. I can go out to where I used to live in Dallas, in Highland Park. I knew at least 6 of them.
Oh,
6 of them. Because they were. Excuse me, ma'am.
That have been.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. If you let me explain to you, I will.
You're not letting me finish my thought, and then you
asked the question. You asked the question. Go find these women, and I'm going to tell you where I found them.
My thought wasn't over. I said in successful marriages.
Okay, in successful marriages.
10 years later,
and they're still married. Still married. Still married. They were the soccer. The soccer mom. Okay. Okay. Do you want to hear or not?
Well, I mean, I just don't. I would.
And you see, I could give you the example, and you still won't accept it, because there's some women who accept the fact that, you know what, if I want to have a man that's making $500,000 a year, that kind of living, he's not going to be able to go to the PTA meetings. He's going to have to work his butt off and maybe travel a lot. And guess what? They have an arrangement. But guess what? As long as you don't bring in home any outside babies, no diseases, and don't embarrass me in public, we're good. Guess what? She can also do what she wants to do as well. And they have an understanding, because when the marital rate in this country, the divorce rate in this country is over 51%. But when you cross a net income of $250,000, it drops to 20%, because people with more money got more reasons to stay together, and they find a way to do it all the time.
I respect your opinion, because at least it's fair. At least people get to have part of a deal, instead of just men get to cheat and women are going to sit at home and deal with it.
What I just gave you was a fact that anybody can look at.
Well, but again, I'm more okay with what you're saying. You're telling me it's going both ways, not just one.
Well, I'm telling you, it always has gone both ways. But the way you guys are set up is it's always women are the victims. And that's that feminism crap. I don't think women are victims. I think women can pick and choose. I think there are plenty of women like Melania Trump to choose to be married to a guy like Donald Trump and knew exactly what she was getting, was perfectly fine with being where she is. That's a choice.
I don't think I've ever sat here and claimed to be a victim.
Yeah, she is the worst. I mean, she's probably the best example, because I'm not a Trump fan, but like
That's not the
she's
point.
the worst example to bring into that because it's like she's not.
She had the freedom to choose, and she chose.
She did.
So are you going to negate her choice?
Absolutely. She wasn't an American. She made her choices based on.
Oh, listen
Are
to
you
that,
kidding
gentlemen.
me?
Fairness. See, this is what this.
Holy oh my, okay, look. So we're negating a woman's choice simply because she's not American. So are we implying that because you are not American, you're obviously ignorant, you don't have choices, this was your best option, so you're just going to suck it up? Like, that is a broad stroke, ignorant statement. Like, and like he sat there and said, because I'm from Texas and I know 100% he is absolutely accurate. Those Highland Park women that's a different breed, man. Let me tell you, because once your man starts making a certain amount of money, those women don't really want to live any other way. So there are concessions that are made and there are agreements on both sides that get to happen. And one of the big ones is do not make me look like a fool on either side. But I still can't believe that, and I get it. People don't like Trump. They hate Trump. They like Trump. It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. In this concept of what we're discussing, this has nothing to do with politics. I don't care if you don't like a man. That's like somebody saying, because, I don't even, it's so, people need to stay on topic. I think that's one of the things that's driving me insane is, Kevin's sitting here and he's trying to answer a question and she wants to keep talking. And then she's trying to ask a question and then he wants to jump in, and that in and of itself is kind of annoying as well. But you can't negate somebody's answer. You can't sit there and say, well, I don't agree with that because it's not a fact in my world, or I don't live that way, or, well, that's not true. And that's a horrible example because that person's married to this person and they're a horrible person. And you ask for examples, you want details, you want somebody to be able to back up what they're saying and why they're saying it, but yet then all of a sudden it's not okay simply because you don't agree. Well, it doesn't work that way. We'll get back to this.
This is selective feminism. It's feminism only when it goes with what I think. Thank you for proving my
I
point.
would like to make a point, actually. So if we brought up that plenty of Colombian women run game on white guys in Miami for citizenship, we would act like they're victims.
No, I wouldn't.
Guys,
I wouldn't.
Melania Trump does the same thing.
No, I wouldn't.
Citizenship, she gets some cash, she gets what you are perceiving as
She got a deal. So let me say something, guys. Let me say something to you ladies. What men and women have always done is not worried about the Western notion ideal of marriage. What men and women have traditionally done is sat down and negotiated and hammered out a deal. And that's what they do. You hammer out a deal. Melania Trump got a deal. She is not a prisoner. She could have chosen to leave. This is a free country. If Donald Trump wanted her to stay and she wanted to leave, she could have. She chose to be there.
Yeah, but we're not all like Melania Trump.
And
that is not a valid argument.
She is one.
No,
but it is,
I would
though,
like.
It's not. Because we're not, that's not a valid argument. I'm saying the fact that there are women who make choices that you don't understand, but they're free to make them and happy in those situations.
But again, you're talking about choices that are going both ways, when what I have been getting annoyed with is there is no sense of fairness, and it's what exactly.
There is no fairness in dating, ma'am. That's what you don't seem to get. There's no fairness in this. All's fair in love and war. It's not fair, it's survival.
I'm glad I know now. I just got a lot of empowerment.
Now that I heard everybody's opinion here, it's like I don't even want to date. Like
I do. I'm
gonna be even more excited.
But understand something, and you can do that. But here's the thing. And that's fine. And that's fine. But here's the thing. And while you're running game, the game will be played as well. That's fine. And men are okay with that. See, men are okay with the.
Okay with that though?
Ma'am, you ladies set up the rules. We are playing the game that modern women have set up.
So Kevin, and I don't know if you heard it, but again, one of the things that's bothered me is that again, it's, oh, well, men can do this, but women can't.
Such as?
Again, the cheating thing. Well, if you're the 1% of men, then you get to do this, and it's because women show, love differently and blah blah blah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if you're with a 1% man and you're cheating, if, you better not get. If you need to know you're a man.
Neither are we.
Some men, I will say this. I know men in the 1% whose wives have. What do you think the porn when she's sleeping with the pool boy, the postman, came from? Women cheated. The Postman Rings Twice was a very famous movie in the 70s. Ladies, there are some men who understand their wives cheat. There are just rules to it.
But again, I like that you're telling me we're setting a plan up front because that's not what's been being said
That's
here.
always what it comes down
If
to.
he loves you, he ain't gonna let you know he's
There
cheating.
is something that comes down there is some man on the planet that you can actually make a deal with that you can accept. Now the point is, can you find it before time runs out? But that's how it always comes down to. There are blanket generalizations that are broadly true for most people. But we're human beings, everyone has a choice. Some guys cannot tolerate any cheating. Well, then if you need to get your itch scratched and you know what you got on the line, you got to weigh the risk reward. Because if you want to risk it,
aim lower, I guess, lower your expectations, because if you're dating, above the 1%, then you might get somebody that's not gonna fucking cheat, right?
Maybe.
well, hold on. And see, the notion of this whole aim lower, this is why when women say this, I don't think you realize that people, when I don't think a lot of times you ladies understand when you say aim lower, you're in that lower too.
I don't aim lower. I'm not going to aim lower. I'm just
That
going to
is
stop
something I
being
just
such
put
a nice
out there.
person.
I'm
But
just-
the fact that here's some realities. Women control access to sex and determine whether or not a life is brought into the world. Men control access to relationships and marriage. So you can aim whatever you want to, but unfortunately, men across the board, low value to high, control access to relationship. That's what we control. So this is what I was saying earlier. Ladies across the board, you can have your standards, your point of view, but when it comes right down to it, the way you guys were talking is if you had leverage over the kind of men that was in the discussion. You don't. Those men have leverage over the women. You're not competing. You're competing with the women around him. Everything that you ladies are saying, I won't tolerate this, such and so forth. There are plenty of other women who are like, shit, okay, fine. What else? Is that it? No problem.
Saying we're not 1% like they.
I'm saying that there are more women wanting them than there are men. There's 1%. That means 99% aren't. And almost 100% of women want the same 1% of men. The Petro principle.
Oh yeah.
There are more women trying to, okay, you've all been into a club at some point in your life. There's a regular club and there's VIP. The guys who are in VIP are looked at differently than the guys who are standing online.
That's not fair, Kevin.
Well, what the guys in VIP had to make. See, the thing is, one thing that most women don't seem to realize, and it's very simple. Women are born with inherent value. So they really can't understand the concept that we men have to deal with. We have to make ourselves valuable. So when men hear that we have to make ourselves valuable, we accept the world as it is, and we don't sit back and say, well, it's not fair. We just deal with the world as it is. Here's the principle. Women can never objectively understand the male journey and struggle, so don't try to explain. In general, they see everything through rose-colored glasses, being born with inherent value. You earn all of your value as a man, and it's your greatest opportunity that you could hope for. Women are born with value, men are not.
Y'all had your struggle. The women are still struggling right now.
I was gonna say it's
Clearly.
way harder to be a woman than a man.
I said value, ma'am. I said value.
Yourself.
No, you went to how hard it is. I said value.
Nobody's feeling sorry for themselves here.
I said value. Are you
You're entitled to something better because your struggle has been harder.
no one see, men don't think we're entitled to anything. That's why we said don't even no, what I said was men should not try to explain.
If you weren't entitled, you wouldn't sit here and tell me I don't deserve the same.
Yeah, you can knock the sign language off. It doesn't work on me. What I was saying is men should not try to objectively articulate your struggle and journey to be a man because women are born with inherent value. See,
Kevin, she's not listening. It's
I know, and I'm about to run, but I'm gonna say this for the audience. Thank you for having me on, guys. And these are valuable back and forth because what needs to happen more often than not is women who have these strong beliefs just question their beliefs, question why they believe what they believe, and then if it stands up, it stands up. If it doesn't, okay. But it's not. We're not being fair. We're not being rude. We're not being evil or argumentative. Women are used to one-way discussions, and that time has passed. Thank you, guys.
All right, Kev.
Thanks, Kevin.
Peace out.
I disagree with that last part. I love a back and forth conversation, but not like this. Nothing like this. Oh gosh, you guys, this. I'm all about conversations and educating myself on things I'm not aware of, and learning. But if all you do is wait for the other person to take a breath so that you can jump in, you're not listening, you're not learning, you're not having a productive conversation, because if you're literally waiting for that breath, did you actually hear anything that they just said? And they're a prime example, because they did not. They want to sit there and put words in his mouth or make assumptions like the entitlement comment. And this isn't me just taking up for Kevin. This is just in general when you have conversations with people. Like, don't assume. Don't put your own projections on someone else. I mean, at least listen to them and react to what they're actually saying, versus just waiting for them to take a breath and thinking you know what they were going to say and then jumping on that, because otherwise you end up with a conversation like this. But anyways, I don't know which way you guys wanted me to go on this. I don't know if one way or the other would have been more humorous for you guys or enjoyable. I don't even know. But I will say, I have my own opinions very, 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 very clearly. Never assume, just in general. Like the one chick that was about to jump on and like I was watching her, and you can tell she was about to try to go down the road of, Melania is ignorant and this, that, and the other. And if you don't like her because of who she's married to, that's your choice. Don't make an assumption based off of who she's married to, because the woman's actually extremely intelligent, speaks multiple languages, had a visa, and was already working in the US, did not need Trump for that. But that's neither here nor there. Those are choices you make. You like them or you don't. And like I tell people all the time, you're not a tree. If you don't like it, move. Just my 2 cents. By all means, subscribe, like, comment. Let me know your thoughts on my reaction. I had a lot of thoughts. Other than that, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. By all means, please feel free to recommend something else. Remember